Hello, everybody. It says that I'm live, so here's hoping. I'll wait for a few people to turn up. I'm just going to play the tune that we're going to learn, because that's the first start. I'm going to play it my way, and then we'll slow it down. So now, I hope you can all hear that well. I spent plenty of time today sound checking, so here's hoping. So if you're at home, grab your banjo or fiddle or flute or whatever it is, and we're going to go through this tune. It's got a great title. It's called Drag Her Round the Road. Which relates to Irish dancing. So it relates to dancing at the crossroads. There's a tune called Round the Dresser, or Round the House and Mind the Dresser, which is a similar kind of thing, that when you're doing the swinging thing at the end of at the end of a dance, don't hit the dresser. And this one is Drag Her Round the Road. I don't think it has any other meaning than that. It's a great tune. It's in the key of E minor. But it modulates into G in the second part. So it's a lovely tune. It's simple, and it's also a single tune, and there's a little bit of repetition in it. So I tried to pick something that was reasonably easy and simple, because we're going to learn by ear. Now this will be backed up with some Soundslice notation for those who wish, but the purpose of today is to see if we can learn it by ear. So this is a little bit like if I was teaching a lesson one-to-one, which I do from time to time, or even online. So I'm going to do that the same way, which is essentially, I'm just going to play it one bar at a time, and repeat that bar over a number of times, and then move on to the second until we create a phrase. We'll go over the phrase, and we essentially stitch it all together, and at the end of all of that, you have a first part and then a second part. So if you're new to learning by ear, or if it's not something that you're very good at, it is a skill, and like all skills, it's something that can be learned and can be practiced. And in that regard, it takes patience and it takes repetition. So a couple of things to bear in mind if learning by ear is a new thing for you. One is relax. And the reason that I say that is that the more relaxed and open you are, the easier it is to listen and to actually hear the music. And it's one of those kind of paradoxes where you need to focus and relax at the same time. So there is an element of focus, but it's kind of attentive listening, but without the stress of trying to hear all the notes and figure them out at the same time. So that might sound a little bit confusing, but if you relax into it and almost let the music wash over you, listen out for patterns. So, is the bar that we're learning, is it going up or is it going down? And overall in the tune, does the phrase rise up or does it rise down? Rise down? Go down. Is it changing from minor to major? And these are the little signposts that all musicians use when they're learning tunes. It's almost like you learn the outside building blocks and then you fill in the notes. Okay? So that's, some of the ideas. And then when it comes to memorization in general, which is like how to learn a tune and embed it into your memory, that comes from breaking it down. And if you're doing that for the first time, if you have a difficulty learning tunes, start with simple tunes. That's why we picked this one today. Break it down into small pieces, and that's what we're going to do. And then repeat it over and over and over. And then the last piece really is then to listen. Listening is so important. So a big part of listening is, listen to other people play the tune. because sometimes even if you're reading it off notes, it can be cold and, you know, not very attached to the flow of what a tune actually is. And so if you listen to other people playing a tune, you start to pick up almost the journey of the tune, because every tune moves in a slightly different way. And if you can start to feel that and almost visualize it, that's a great way to help you to memorize a tune as well. So with that in mind, we are in the key of E minor-ish. It's a tune called Drag Her Round the Road. It's a reel. And if everybody is ready, I'm going to play the first bar. Actually, what I will do, I'm going to play the first part just twice through so that you can get the kind of the vibe of the tune into your head, and then we will break it down. So here we go, nice and slow. So let's kick it off. Here is the first bar. So play along with me as you wish, and we're going to do this first bar a number of times. So here we go. Not really slowly. Now starting on B. For those on banjos, we're on fret 2, and for what it's worth, for the banjo players among us, because the tune starts on B and the next note is E, so we're switching from the A string to the D string. We're going to bridge the index finger. All right, or clamp maybe is a better word. So here we go, first bar. And I'm going to play it one more time and then give you a little pause to play it. Let's move on to bar 2. Now for this we're going to go down to the low B, which is fret 4 on your G string. Time and then a little pause. Be sure to let me know in comments if this is the right speed, too fast or too slow. Okay, first 2 bars together. Again. One more time. All right, I hope that's going well for everybody. Going to play it one more time. And then we're going to do the third bar, which is almost identical to the first, which is fantastic. So first 2 bars again. So here's bar 3. It's very similar to bar 1. Okay, so the difference is at the end of bar 3, we're heading up instead of down. So bar 3 again. So let's do bar 1, 2 and 3 together. And one more time. So now, bar 4 is going to tie the whole thing together. Here we go. I want you to keep your ring finger on for the entirety of this bar, or your pinky if you're a pinky player. Okay. It creates a little blend of notes, which is very sympathetic on the banjo and just breaks up that metronomic sound. So let's go for the entire first line. This is the first 4 bars, and I'm looking down here at the second 4 bars. The great news is that it's almost identical to the first 4. So we're almost through the first part of the tune. So here we go, nice and slow again. More time. Okay, so I'm going to do something which is, we're going to jump to the last bar of this first part, because it's very similar to the bar we just played. Okay, so you'll hear it, and this is where I'm talking about the little signposts, where it goes da 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 da, and it's leading back to the B for the first part. The very last bar of this first part sets us up for the second part of the tune. The second part of the tune is in the key of G. So this last bar sounds like this. Okay, so one of them goes down and up, and this one goes up and tails off down in preparation for the G. So this is bar 8 is. So here we go. This is the whole first part. You'll see that bar 1, 2, 3 is repeated in bars 5, 6, and 7. And 4 and 8 are very similar. So this is why we picked a nice simple tune. Here we go. All right, I hope everybody's getting on okay. Do let me know if it's too fast or too slow. And let's do that first part one more time. And I count it in this time. Play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. for G. All right, I'll take a little break. Hope everybody's feeling okay. This is a good time to remember to breathe and relax. Okay, a lot of concentration. Answer one question, Ben O'Gorman. Currently, what pick do I use? I'm using String Joys, and this is a Jumbo Jazz 0.5mm, and I also use the 0.6. There's a nice crisp tone off them. All right. If we're ready, we can crack into the second part, and eventually we'll put all of this together, and once we have it all together, I'm going to play it through, who knows, 10 times in a row, and we'll pick up the speed, and that's a great way as well, as you'll just, you'll vibe it and start to get the tune into your head. So, second part is in the key of G, starts with a G note, and it's a long note, so it sounds like this. Okay, so it's a dotted crotchet is what we would call it in my world. And because it's a dotted crotchet, there's two G's, G, 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 there's three G's in a row. It's going to be down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? So measure 2 or bar 2. First 2 bars together. Alright, I hope that starts to sink in. Okay, bar 3. Now, if you're ready, we'll do the first 3 bars together. One more time. One more time. All right, let's round it out, the last bar of the first part. Let's do the 4 bars together. news is we only have one bar left to learn. So the next 2 bars are the same as the first 2 bars of this part. I stand slightly corrected. This is a slight change. So let's go for bar 5. And 6. And we're heading up the way, so it's... And here is bar 7. And bar 8, the last bar, is the same as bar 4. So here are the last 4 bars, and we're going to put these 2 phrases together. Last 4 bars. And again. All right. I hope everybody is getting on well at home. Shake it out. Take a deep breath. I'm going to play through the tune entirely from the start to the end with a tiny bit more pace, because sometimes when it's slow it's hard to conceive of the flow of the tune. So just with a little bit more pace I'm going to play it. Okay, I'm going to play it a little bit faster than that, and then we're going to slow it down. So just, here we go. Okay, let's do the whole lot. I'm going to slow it down so that you can keep pace with me. We'll play it through twice, straight through from top to bottom. Here we go. right? So I hope you managed to hear the tune, feel the tune, keep up with it. And again, it's a really fun tune, and there's loads of opportunities in this, of course, for ornamentation, especially at that nice slow pace. There's lots of lovely triplets. So what I'm going to do, this video is going to be left up on YouTube, so you can have this as a resource to go back and learn this and practice this by ear. I've also got the basic ornamentation on Soundslice, and if you'd like to access that, in the description there's a link to a Google form, and you can just sign up and I'll send it out to you. And what I'm also going to do is going to build out a bunch of different lessons for this, talking about ornamentation, talking about the use of chords, because as it goes to the G, lots of lovely opportunities to play chords. Most of you know I normally play my banjo with the G tuned up to A, and I have it tuned down to G for this, so I'm really enjoying having the low drone note. And for those of you already on Patreon, you know that within Soundslice you have the ability to slow even the complicated and fast recordings down a little, so that you can pick out all of the intricacies, because really everything is very simple once it's broken down into the individual notes. And so one bar which might sound complicated on its own, it's not actually that hard, most of it, if you can break it down into the individual notes and learn those off with decent technique. So that's a tune called Drag Her Around the Road. As you're still on YouTube, and it's now 4:30 my time, I've just launched a brand new video for a new course that's coming on Friday, and it's 2 tunes. So I decided that I was going to teach Cooley's Reel, because it's one of the absolute standards. But there's really cool things you can do in it, because it's a straightforward enough tune. There's lovely variations and stuff. And then I realized that you can't do Cooley's without doing the Wise Maid. So the next course, all the notation will be ready for Friday, is 2 tunes. So we're going to learn Cooley's and the Wise Maid together. So I've done each of them slowly. I've ornamented them, each of them. I've done a version of each that includes some variation and some chords and harmony. And then my great friend Mick Keneally, fiddler, he came in last week and we recorded 3 backing tracks, or play-along tracks. So it's me and Mick playing Cooley's and the Wise Maid, which is one of the absolute quintessential Irish session tunes. And we do it at session speed, so it's about 110 BPM. And then we also do it at kind of moderate session speed and slow session speed as well, which for myself and Mick, who like the fast session speed, the slow one at 80 was a challenge, but we got there in the end. We managed to crank it out. So you can go and you can learn both tunes at your leisure, and then you can play along essentially in an Irish session with myself and Mick. And we got some bodhrán and guitar in there as well. And this is like preparation for coming to Ireland with me next September and March of next year on the Wild Atlantic Music Tour. And we're going to learn a bunch of tunes and a bunch of session sets over the course of this year, hopefully, so that you'll have preparation for some of the classics that you'll meet along the way when you're here. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope it was useful. I'm dying to find out if teaching like this is beneficial to you. Did the tune come across? Are you able to follow on? Does it feel like you were learning a tune by ear? And is this is this working as a resource for that? Because if it is, I'll definitely do more of them. And I think that's everything. If you go to my channel right now, you'll be able to watch that brand new video. And anyone that's not already a patron, if you'd like to go and check that out, it's patreon.com/Enda Scahill Banjo. And unless anyone has any questions in the comments, which I don't see, I'll love you and leave you. And thank you for joining me on a Sunday morning or evening or night. And I'd be very surprised if any of our Australian friends got up at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is available as a replay. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I appreciate it.